What is up, everyone? I'm very excited for Season 5, but I'm especially excited for the new double agent mode in Cold War. What is it? It's basically Among Us in Call of Duty. It's 10 players, and it's basically imposters versus, crew members sort of deal. I just read the guide. It's very interesting. Let's go over the guide together and see how it goes. But before we dive in, I want to give a big thank you to all of you guys who use code SWIFT in the Call of Duty shop. My code is just SWIFT, all uppercase. Even if you don't buy anything with COD points, when you put in the creator code SWIFT, it makes me look good. So thanks for doing the bald man a favor. I appreciate it. Let's dive into this guide. So this guide is on the Call of Duty blog if you want to read it yourself, but we're going to go through it in a pretty detailed way. So, become a double agent in the newest multiplayer game mode. Will the investigating team expose the traitors in time? Get the full briefing plus strategy and tips. We'll go over all this. It's a pretty well-written guide. James Matone over here is the main editor at Call of Duty Activision. Great dude, very smart guy. It's gonna be a great guide. So, this is the intro. You can either be an operator, an investigator, or a double agent. So there are 3 roles, and the guide goes into all 3 of these. It's a 10-player game. You're most likely to be an operative. Let's go over all of it. So first off, double agent is a round-based game mode designed for up to 10 players in either public or private match play. I'm glad it has private games. I'll try out public first, and then maybe we'll get some unibros together for a private game, see how it goes. No stream watching, scumbag. In each match, every player is assigned one of 3 roles: investigator, operative, or double agent. And nobody knows the other player's roles until they drop evidence confirming their allegiance. So it sounds like when you die, you drop your ID card or whatever it is, or some kind of symbol as to whether you were, the double agent or the detective or just an operative. Before each round, all players are given a starting pistol and 25 seconds to equip weapons. So it sounds like there's like you're running around grabbing gear while you have 25 seconds of safety. Weapon blueprints you may already be familiar with in your standard loadouts and items found around the ground in nearby containers and indicated weapon caches. So there's like weapon caches and all sorts that you can grab. They go over into what you can pick up a little bit later on. So once a round starts, bomb locations will be marked within the world and on the minimap, in addition to a next clue icon counting down the clue will become available. So there are 2 bombs on the map, and the double agents, to win the game, have 2 options. They can either set off both of these bombs or kill everyone. I'm curious what will be the more likely approach. So, and the clues, that's kind of interesting. There's these clues to kind of feed the players. I wonder how heavy-handed that's going to be, but we'll find out. So, using the clue and others found around the map, as well as evidence from eliminated players, the operatives and the investigator must discover and eliminate the double agents. If they do, or time runs out before they can destroy the bombs and operators, then they all win the round. So basically, as long as the bombs don't go off and not all the operatives have died, the good guys win. So the pressure's really on the double agents to either murder everyone or get those bombs off. Interesting. So far, very similar to Among Us, right? Either, you got to kill them before they finish their tasks or murder everybody. Actually, kind of the opposite, right? Because the investigators, the double agents, are the ones with the tasks this time around. Anyway, however, the operatives and the investigator must also be cautious of who they attempt to subdue, as friendly fire will not be tolerated. Any attempts to take a fellow operator or investigator's life will cost you your own. Now that I love. So basically, if you're a detective or you're an operative, and you're just sloppy and you just kill the first person you see, they don't die, you do. So I like that. You have to actually be careful if you're going to accuse somebody, right? The double agents can win in one of 2 ways: eliminate all the operatives and the investigator, or plant and detonate the bombs. When a double agent plants a bomb, it takes about 30 seconds to detonate. The investigating team will need to react fast to defuse it before it explodes and disperses radiation to the area. So actually, closes off the area once they set it off. But it seems tough, right? So you set off this bomb and you run away. You then kind of U-turn and run with other players towards the bomb to defuse it, or pretend you're defusing it, to use it as an opportunity to kill the first person on site. It seems like as a double agent, you have a lot of decisions you can make to really mess with players. If they play the roles well and their cards right, double agents and the investigator can also gain access to skills. Powerful abilities like tactical equipment, field upgrades, and score streaks that can drastically alter the outcome of a round. Score streaks. I know the double agent getting a score streak of having a chopper or heli coming and shooting everybody. That sounds kind of insane. I wonder how you can earn that within this 3-minute round. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about each of the roles, right? So know your role: operatives and investigators. More often than not, your experience will be as an operative or an investigator, no matter if you pledge allegiance to, whatever side. In a standard 10-player game, you have a 60% chance of being assigned the operative role. So, obviously, 60% of 10 is 6. So, 6 operatives. I believe it's 1 detective and probably 3 double agents. I'm not 100% sure. This is like the only part of the article where they say there's like 6 operatives or 60%. For the other roles, they don't really say. So, it's either going to be 2 detectives and 2 double agents, or 1 detective and 3 double agents. I think it's three double agents. Anyway, we'll find out. So, at the beginning of a match, a radio will appear somewhere on the map. After decoding the message from this radio by interacting with it, the first clue about a double agent's identity will be revealed. Subsequent clues and radios can be found elsewhere on the map after each message is decoded. Often these clues are tied to details about the various operators in the match. In an example game, let's say Kitsune is one of the double agents, the new, headline character for the season. In this scenario, we'll collect evidence like the suspect is female, or that the double agent has an even number ID. Now, this part is actually really cool. Each player has a number ID found both beside their overhead in name in game and on the in-game leaderboard. Those IDs are used for quick callouts. So, if you've ever played, Among Us, maybe some players will choose like a yellow, Among Us character. Like just for LOLs, they'll name themselves Red. So when someone's like, calling out like Yellow just murdered somebody or Red just murdered somebody, it's really easy to get confused. Or if you have someone in the game who has like a weird name, or an appropriate name, we've seen it in our solo games where it's hard to pronounce some people's names. Calling out the number, very smart idea. Anyway, in the case of Kitsune, the double agent we're tracking, we now know that our suspect is a female and has an even number ID. With this information, we can now start by identifying all female operators with an even number ID and go from there. I'm curious how fast it'll narrow down in a 10-player game, because that seems really specific to me, right? I'm not sure how they're going to distribute, these ID numbers and all these clues, but I guess we'll find out. If you haven't managed to uncover the double agent's identity by now, you'll be given some more specific assistance with the third and final clue, which will show you the general location of the suspected double agent. This clue will ping in an area of your mini-map and in the world, providing the suspect's last known location. The location will update several times before disappearing. Now that seems really heavy. It's like, yo dog, you suck as an operative. We're going to tell you the exact area where the double agent is. How it'll actually play out, I don't know. But this really seems like, really pushing to help the folks out. Be careful though, as wise double agents will attempt to confuse operatives and the investigator by sticking close to other players, making it difficult to isolate them. I guess as a double agent, you can pretend you went to that area and say you saw someone else there, and as long as you're not with somebody else to validate that it wasn't them, it might be a good call. So a lot of fun. I feel like it'd be very hard to play this without a microphone, although apparently you can. What's also it'll come up later in the guide is that when you're a double agent, you have 2 voice channels. You can talk to everybody, or you can talk to just your fellow double agents. So as long as you don't goof up and talk to your fellow double agent on the public voice channel, you should be okay. But we've all seen that kind of happen in other games, especially if you've played Deceit. The investigator. All right. So marked with a blue shield and a star icon over their head, the investigator is a special operative. Whether they're a rookie or grizzled veteran, they have a unique ability that can eliminate even the trickiest of double agents. So, sounds like there's just one detective, right? The first of these involves autopsy reports. Readouts of a player's time of death, time since death, the weapon that was used, and the dead player's role that dropped on their body. Anyone can view this information by interacting with the report on the ground. However, investigators will also be able to show the killer's footsteps, similar to the tracker perk in multiplayer. That's a little weird. So, anyone can do an autopsy, but the big advantage for the investigators is that they see the footprints. All right. So, allow them to see where the killer came from before the deed was done. I'm curious how long that lasts and how useful that'll be. We'll find out. Second, should an investigator have a hunch, as any investigator would, they can target suspected double agents with a wanted order. This marks any player on the map as wanted, with an icon above their head. Even if that player is an operative with a bad alibi. With that said, investigators must use this ability with caution, as everyone will be sure to track down a wanted agent if they're marked as one. If your investigator leads you astray and has suspected an operative who's innocent, it's on you to decide if you pull the trigger. So basically, if you're an investigator and you suspect someone, you mark them as go kill this guy, and you're wrong. Number one, you're screwing over not the guy you suspected, but actually the person who tries to apprehend them, right? So let's say you mark Bob 69 as probably the double agent. I go after Bob and I shoot them, and then I die because of, no friendly fire, right? Everyone else knows, wow, our investigator sucks. And now do you just ignore your investigator's clues? Like, I don't know. So it seems tricky. I guess you really have to be confident when you mark somebody for death, right? Finally, investigators gain access to specific skills for earning score in the match, similar to score streaks in multiplayer. These skills include the trophy system, stim shot, and a hand cannon. So I'm trying to think, trophy system, where would you use that, right? Would you use a trophy system near a bomb to make sure you can defuse it without a grenade being thrown at you? I'm not too sure. I'm curious how useful this stuff was. Stim shot, obviously, if you're being attacked by a double agent or whatever, then, heal yourself, blah, blah. But a trophy system, I'm curious when the best places to use this will be. And the hand cannon, obviously, a one-shot kill if you can aim. Very useful. Me, I can't aim, so we'll figure out how that goes. Clearly, more skill will be required in double agent mode than Among Us, right? Among Us, if you're like a killer, you walk by someone, spam the button, and they're dead. In this, you miss your shots, like, you could screw over your team or yourself, right? All right, let's talk about the double agent. Ready to join the ranks of a double agent? If you're one of the players randomly assigned to this role, you'll be tasked with turning your back on the investigator and operatives to take the win. You're the scumbags, you're the imposters. We get it. Double agents must work together to deceive the others into thinking they're innocent, while working to undermine them, either by eliminating them or successfully setting off bombs throughout the map. So as we said, you're a double agent, you're either setting off those bombs, or you're killing everybody, right, without getting caught. As a double agent, you're vastly outnumbered, so be smart about it. Help eliminate the opposition, double agents have access to the following. First, everyone in the game has access to voice chat, but double agents are given access to their own double agent channel where they can communicate with one another in private. So hopefully this is just an easy button you can push down or whatever, because if it's a painful thing to do, you might make the mistake of talking, talking to everyone, right? Once roles are assigned, double agents can see one another marked with a spy icon over their head and talk freely in both channels. Needless to say, double agents should always check the channel they're talking in before they discuss their plans. Keep in mind that limited players can still hear everyone, but can only talk to other limited players. I'll share a tactic with you guys. I did this in Deceit a few times. Basically, if you're caught, you could pretend you made a mistake talking on, you're talking to everybody, but you make it seem like you're trying to talk to your, fellow, killer or whatever. Be like, run, Sarah, run! And Sarah could be innocent, so maybe they'll go after Sarah afterwards, even if you die, giving your fellow double agent some time to operate. I don't know. Might work, might not. It's worked for me sometimes, and it's pretty hilarious when it does. All right, so another special double agent ability involves field mics, which can be activated around the map. Just like the field upgrade in standard multiplayer game, field mics will reveal enemy positions on your mini-map once activated. This can provide crucial intel about investigators or operatives' movements, allowing you to track them down for a kill or use their location as false evidence. Be careful, however, that you don't blow your cover and activate field mics near an operative or investigator. And operatives and investigators can destroy field mics also. So that's kind of interesting, right? You put down a field mic somewhere and no one's been there while you were doing some other stuff. You can just say, like, I was there. Like, that's where I was this entire time. But also, if someone sees you drop a field mic, you're done, right? Or you have to kind of pin it on them. You have to say, like, oh, that guy dropped the field mic. So it's a tricky play. Again, it's really interesting that these rounds are so short. In an Among Us game, it can be like, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or whatever. These rounds in Double Agent are 3 minutes. So, I'm curious to see how that plays out. Like investigators, double agents can also gain skills or earning score in the match. Their skills are gas mines, counter spy planes, combat bows, and attack helicopters. The last of which can be deadliest to the opposition. No operative or investigator can equip cold-blooded. When an attack helicopter goes into the air, it can easily wipe out an entire team and claim the round for double agents. So I'm curious, how viable is it for a double agent just to be like, their entire strat is go for the attack helicopter? Because you get points a certain way, right? By opening up, like, caches or maybe doing certain things. Like, how hard is it within a 3-minute period is it to go and get this attack helicopter? I'm curious to see how that's balanced. Last but not least, double agents can gain access to dead drop caches, powerful containers that contain unique weapons like epic and legendary weapon blueprints, and the one-shot, one-kill R1 Shadowhunter crossbow. Oh god, I'm absolutely trash with the crossbow. I see some of you guys out there just like instantly headshotting me with those things. How? How? Anyway, these destructible cases can only be opened by double agents, so operatives and their investigators should either destroy them before they can be opened, or know if someone is standing suspiciously close to one. That's cool. I'm sure you'll have some people maybe like, camping, in a spot, keeping an eye to see if someone walks by there. But also, I wonder how important this loot is for you to win, right? Like, we'll see. And destroying them, if you get points for destroying them, maybe that's worth it as well. If you feel like a double agent has to get well, anyway. There are plenty of containers around the map that have additional gear, as well as the occasional airdrop for players willing to risk separating from the pack with a chance to get their hands on some powerful items. So I wonder, as a double agent, if you see, like, an airdrop for an operative come down, you go there and camp it for, like, an easy kill, and then you run away. And if you can't open up the box, can another be like, yo, dog, open up that box. That'll prove whether you're, like, an operative or not. So I don't know if you've ever seen, like, an Among Us. It's like, go on the scanner, asshole. I hate that stuff personally, but maybe it'll work here. All right, so here we go. Here are the tips. Each round double agent lasts about 3 minutes at most. Okay, I was saying the rounds are 3 minutes, but maybe the time limit's higher. Maybe this is the average of how long they last. I don't know. And 5 rounds are played in a standard public double agent match, which is great. Which means it sounds like the private games, you have some customization you can do. So hopefully they give you some like toggles to make it harder or easier for certain sides with that. We'll find out. At the end of each of the matches, at the end of the match, each player is assigned an overall score for their individual performance, along with a top 3 showing off the highest earners in the match. I don't know if I agree with scores, right? Like, that's nice, but at the end of the day, like, it really comes down to whether your side won or didn't win. But okay, nice to have. Earn points throughout the match in the following ways: opening containers, enabling or destroying field mics, opening or destroying dead drop caches, planting, defusing, and detonating bombs, getting kills, and of course, winning rounds. Need to know how else to win? Here are our expert tips for mastering all 3 roles. 5. Follow the clues. Decode the messages provided by the radios around the map to gain info on the double agents. So it'll give you, like, whether their ID is an even number or odd number, whether they're female or male, and other clues, I guess. So that's very interesting. And it sounds like you can't pick which skin you use, so I'm curious what they put in the rotation. Use the process of elimination to track them down. If you're being tracked as a double agent, either remain hidden or try to confuse your opponents by deflecting suspicions via voice chat to other operatives and even other double agents if you're looking out for yourself more than your fellow spies. I can get behind that. Sometimes you just gotta throw, a fellow double agent that's slacking under the bus so you can survive. We see it'll happen all the time. Might be worth it until the game where they screw you over. Use your mic. Yes. Please use your microphone. In my personal mini games, a microphone is almost always required, so it'll be good to get it right. Whichever role you play, clear communication is absolutely essential. Convey any and all useful information to your team, such as an autopsy report, players matching clue descriptions, or any kind of suspicious activity. Double agents should make regular use of the double agent channel for maximum deception. Hopefully it's easy to do, like bind a single button to that or whatever. Although voice chat isn't required, this can all be done over in-game text chat. It'll definitely help your case for winning each round. Now, the problem with doing it in text chat, if you're a double agent, is if someone sees you just standing around, they might think, hey, it's you, like, typing to your fellow double agent. With voice chat, it's a little easier to kind of swap between the two, hopefully. Number 3, wanted orders. Eliminate on sight. The investigator's wanted order skill helps focus the team's effort on singling out a suspected double agent. As the investigator, choose wisely before assigning the order, or risk having your team punished for a wrongful conviction. Yeah, I feel like the second an investigator screws, messes that up, it's like, screw the investigator, doesn't know what they're talking about. Number 2, separate and sabotage. Anytime the investigating team splits up, the double agents have an opportunity to pursue and eliminate them away from prying eyes. Try to lure them away by feigning interest in an airdrop or clue. Then wipe them out and get ready to fight the next one. So I guess the idea might be like, hey, like Rude Boy 22, come with the airdrop, like, just so I don't want to get killed by like a double agent, unless you're one. Like, no, I'll come with you. You go together and then stab him in the back. Maybe. Sneaky double agents can even use more deceitful tactics like defusing a bomb that they planted themselves. I guess kind of like, when in Among Us, if you shut off the lights and you come back and turn the lights back on yourself. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'm the guy who turned off the lights, guys. You can't be me. To further sow the chaos and confusion that only a true Black Ops spy could devise. There'll be some fun things going on. And finally, keep your wits about you. The best double agents do all they can to appear helpful to the investigating team, and slip away or suddenly attack in the least expected moment. All operatives are suspects. Keep your eyes peeled and never let your guard down. Now go out and execute the mission. So, anyway, I know I was doing a lot of reading there. A lot of misreading too. But I'm very excited for this mode. I'm going to be posting a video as soon as I can of our first games. I'll try doing public games where I don't have to worry about people like stream sniping me. And I'll also try private games with our community where hopefully folks aren't looking at chat or the stream to kind of see, you know, who's what role or whatever. So very excited for this. I hope this is good. We've seen that when a mode does really well, they invest more resource into it. Look at Prop Hunt. Prop Hunt has been very popular since they put it back into Cold War. They've added new maps that support Prop Hunt, and they've added more props to those maps, which is like phenomenal. I love Prop Hunt, and I'm so glad they put the love into it. I'd love to see this mode become successful. I think it's a lot of fun. You can have like, you know, different maps and maybe different roles eventually. And I think it just keeps it like, you know, keep it exciting. So hope it's good, and we'll find out soon. So thanks for watching. And again, big thank you to all of you guys for using code SWIFT, the Call of Duty Point Shop. And I'm curious to see what you guys think of the mode when it comes up. You can also tweet me, you know, your thoughts, or come to my live stream, obviously, where we'll play, you know, private games and whatnot. Twitch.tv/Swiftor. Have a great one, guys. Have a blast in Season 5. And I'll see you guys in the comments.